If you're still scared to make content in 2026, you're completely missing out. I made $13,500 in my first month of doing UGC, and I'm not lying to you. I'm gonna explain in this video how I did it, what I do, and how you can do it too. And I promise you, I'm not selling a course. This is all free information. I've watched a ton of videos before on how to do it and how to make money. I had two really good friends who were making money off TikTok, and I wondered how I could get into that with using something that I like, and that was golf. I've been creating content since I was in 5th grade, starting with a shoe channel, trick shots, whatever it may be. But then I wanted to take it a little bit more serious. So when two of my good friends were showing me they were making 5 figures a month using TikTok and Instagram, I decided I need to go all in on this thing. So I started it. In 1 year, I grew my golf page from 0 to 103,000 followers on Instagram. I have 35K on Facebook, 13K on TikTok, and almost 11K on YouTube. But the thing is, the views isn't what's paying the bills. So when I figured out what UGC was, I thought it was just like beauty and makeup. But then I realized you can make real money posting golf content. And I'm not here to sell you a course. I'm just telling you that you can do it too. I didn't believe it at first, but then when I seen the money actually come in, it took me about 9 months to make my first dollar. 9 months. In that first month that I made a single dollar, I ended up making $13,500 more. The people who tell you that it's easy are completely lying to you. It's still a full-time job. I come home after my real job and I work another, 4 to 5 hours. The biggest thing is it's not gonna be quick. Like I said, it took me 9 months to make my first dollar, but the difference was I kept posting. I wasn't worried about the money coming in quick. It took time. And the biggest motivator for me was seeing my two friends who are raking in money by just posting really good content. This video is completely different. It's not a 9-hole match, and it's not gonna be some kind of golf challenge. I wanted to use this platform to show that you can do it too. If you're not making money online in 2026, you're just being lazy. Not only do I get to work with my favorite brands like Ghost Golf, Tacomo, Lab Golf, all these big names that you see all these other big YouTubers working with, it's also bringing in a complete new stream of revenue. But like I said, if you're just in it for the money, it's probably not gonna work out. But if you actually do what you love, then you might see something come from it. All right, now to get into how I made my first dollar. Obviously you need to have, 10,000 plus followers on each platform, but that'll come, especially posting consistently. I took a real advantage of trial reels, and I gained over 103,000 followers on Instagram in less than a year with only 250 posts. So after that 9 months went by of me just posting consistently and not making a single dollar, my first brand deal came along, but it wasn't even paid. It was just a free product, but I was stoked. That's all I really wanted to begin with. But then within that same month, I ended up landing, I think 4 to 5 brand deals, which ultimately led me going down the UGC rabbit hole, and especially in the golf side. But now I've been thinking how can I pivot? How can I maximize this opportunity where I can, work with brands that aren't in the golf niche? Because realistically, working with one brand forever is just not really realistic. So I'm looking on ways to expand my horizons into different markets. So I'm gonna give you a breakdown within the golf niche and how to make money actually posting content. If you're not with an agency, and I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're probably not, outreach is gonna be the biggest thing. All of my brand deals within that first month were all outreach. I was hammering people, following up, next day, follow up, email, call, follow up. My biggest thing is connection, so I was pushing phone calls. That's what's gonna get your foot in the door. And I wanna reiterate, I'm not selling the course, I'm just giving you free information on how you can do it too. And I'm not here to brag or boast, I wanna show you that you can actually do this too. I did not believe that you can make 10K a month on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook. But then when I actually did it, it opened up a ton of new doors for me. So let's break down on how that $13,500 came in. So the revenue was split between 6 brands, and I believe I had to make around 30 pieces of content that month. And this was all split between different brands, different products, and different style of videos. And it's definitely okay to start off on commission-based things, but if you don't know how to sell a product, it's probably not gonna be very beneficial. But that's been the biggest thing. All of my ROAs have been positive for every single brand that I've worked with an average multiplier around 3.5x what they're putting behind the ad spend. So that's like whenever you put out a Google ad, any ad you see on Instagram, brands are putting money behind it. So say they put $3,000 behind my video and it brings them back $9,000, they're gonna be like, all right, I wanna work with this guy again. And that's been the biggest thing, is retainer contracts. So that means every month I know that the money's gonna come back in as long as I make good videos and good ads for brands. For example, I had a video blow up for a brand and they did over $15,000 in revenue just off that one video. So the brand gets in their head thinking that, this guy, we're not taking a risk on this guy. He's gonna deliver. He's had one video do well. Let's continue to work with him. And that's how you sign retainer contracts. When you're reaching out to these brands, you wanna have a portfolio. I'll pop my portfolio up on the screen. This has been the biggest thing that's pushed the needle for me, because people get a clean, crisp look at what you can possibly do for them. For myself, I'm a professional videographer, so I try to push that upon people where, you're not gonna have to hire a full media team. I can come in, I'll make 5 videos for you a month, and they're gonna be clean, crisp, and ready to post. So not only does this take the pressure off the brand's back, but it also makes them more intrigued with what I have to offer. For example, I did a video for Ghost Golf. It's one of my favorite brands. I'm sure you've heard of it if you're watching this video on how to make money by posting golf content, and they loved it. It did extremely well on my page, and it's doing super well for them. For example, Ghost Golf doesn't pay me a single dollar, but they send me free clothing. I'm not being paid to wear this hat. They just have nice stuff, so I continue to wear it, and they're a good brand to work with. So it's okay to take non-paid deals, especially if it's a brand you believe in. But obviously, if you're gonna need to pay the bills and generate revenue, you're gonna have to negotiate and work out deals with brands that align with your niche. Now let's get into monetization for views. I don't claim to be an expert on this. I've been only doing this for like 3 months. Like I said, 2 of my friends showed me that you can make legit money on the internet. And then I finally figured out like I should probably be doing this rather than waiting and regretting it. So one, Instagram does not pay for views. Sadly, that's my most viewed platform out of all of them. I average around 6 million views a month between trial reels and posts. But Instagram has been the biggest platform for brand deals. They see, I have 103,000 followers. I'm posting consistently. I'm getting decent engagement. I'm getting a decent amount of views. And then I also know how to push a product. Now let's get into Facebook. Facebook pays kind of pennies on the dollar. Last month I did 3.2 million views and only made around $400 just based off the RPM. And to make money on Facebook, you're gonna wanna make every video almost over a minute. You can still get paid for videos that are under a minute, but you start making a little bit more money as they surpass that minute mark. So with 39,000 followers on Facebook, $400 isn't really moving the needle, but it's almost like a passive income because I enjoy making the content. Now switching to TikTok, this is my least viewed platform. I'm still trying to navigate on how to reach that audience rather than the Facebook and Instagram side where I'm kind of crushing, but TikTok's gonna pay you the most for views. And this is what really got me into wanting to make the content. So my RPM on TikTok's around $5.50 to $6 per 1,000 views. And this month I did around 150,000 qualified views, which made me around $1,000. And that's the thing, that's not an astronomical amount of views. It's just putting out good quality content that TikTok looks at and they're like, okay, this guy's making good stuff. Let's push this high quality stuff, and they're willing to pay for it. Like I said, I'm not an expert. I'm just trying to put out high quality content surrounded by golf because it's such a high paying niche. So in my case, there's a ton of room to work with on TikTok, especially with not having any videos blow up. I've been stuck in like 5,000 to 16,000 view jail, and I'm still bringing in a good amount of revenue from that platform. The purpose of this video was not to brag or boast or show what I'm doing. I'm showing you that you can do it too. 6 months ago, I had no idea I'd be in this position that I am now, working with tech brands, golf brands, prediction markets, e-bike companies. It shows that if you're willing to put in the work, even if you have a full-time job, it's still totally doable. On top of my 40-hour work week outside of content creation, I'm still putting in another 20 hours of work, but the financial return based off the time I'm putting in is completely worth it. So my advice to you, if you're watching this video and want to get into content, is don't be afraid what people are going to think about you. Be consistent and be patient. The followers and the money will come, and I just never believed that until I did it myself. It took me about 9 months, like I said, to make a single dollar, and then in that first month that I made a single dollar, I made $13,500. This is still only the start, and I'm curious to see what you guys think about this video because I'm curious to see how many people are actually trying to get into this. I know Instagram golf, YouTube golf is a giant thing right now, and I just want to give advice and guide people on how they can actually do this themselves too. This is my first time making a video anything like this, so if anything was unclear or you have any questions, comment them down below, shoot me an Instagram DM, and we'll see you in the next one. Go make the content.